Hello! As always, I'm doing readings, info in the description to book a reading with me. It's Sagittarius season. So we're moving, well, we're out of Scorpio season, and we are now in the last part of basically a 3 month cycle. So we've just begun this third month. It started like every season does. It starts with a cardinal energy, so Libra, then a fixed energy, Scorpio, and now it's immutable. So this next month, honestly, is going to be a lot smoother, I think, generally for people than this last month. And there are, pros and cons to that. On the one hand, let's look at the retrospect of this last month and the intensity, and let's appreciate that certain growth and transformation happened that would not have happened without that kind of intensity, without that certain pressure with square Saturn that then gave the opportunities for growth and awareness and trying new things, experimentation that helped us to get out of ruts and helped us to move forward in major ways with that. I mean, the square Saturn, but also the square Jupiter. So I think where we are now for this next 30 days, we are wrapping up, we are moving forward definitively whatever it was that we were focused on for the last 30 days. So the last 30 days was the very difficult trial and error, trying to figure stuff out, going through intense emotions, going through fear, going through a lot of and to be fair, we still have Mars in Scorpio for another 3 weeks. It's like directly halfway there. We'll talk about that. But honestly, Mercury's about to go into Sagittarius, Sun's already there. We're moving forward. There's always challenges, of course, to keep in mind, but it's not quite as as we have been experiencing this last month, where it's just like so intense. I think in particular because there's so much fixed energy, and fixed energy is, I mean, it can be intense regardless of the modality, but fixed energy is very like, no, you are focusing on this. This is the theme. Break on through to the other side. It's like I said. I feel so corny saying that over and over and over again, but it is. It is. And also, it's a good song. Yeah. So beautiful. Speaking of which, it's Sagittarius season, which is awesome. That's Jim Morrison's sun sign. So here we are. We're moving forward. I think for today, for tomorrow, and for the first part of Wednesday, we have Moon in Cancer. So for tomorrow, Tuesday, I mean. So this is a smooth entrance. This is helping us to still be in touch with the emotional, the introverted emotions, the sensitivity, the receptivity of this last 30 days with all that Scorpio energy. It's helping us to ease into the work week with a good feeling of emotional abundance. I think especially in combination with the Sun and Sagittarius, it's giving a lot of support. There's actually a grand trine of Moon in Cancer, Neptune in Pisces, and Mercury and Mars in Scorpio. So whatever it is that you've been focused on for this last month, I think now is the time to look forward. Okay, what am I going to do? It's like we talked about at the beginning of November. December is when we really take off. Because again, in October, we had a lot of retrogrades coming to be direct. We're long out of the Mercury retrograde shadow period, which ended November 2nd. But we still have Jupiter and Saturn in their shadow periods until, I believe, mid-January, something like that. Regardless, we are moving forward more than ever. And this Sagittarius season, which we are now in, is a really exciting time to make a lot of really great things happen. So I think in terms of however you sought to grow, and whatever you felt like, okay, this is what I need to focus on over this last month, it'll get a lot easier. It'll get a lot more fun. It'll get a lot more exciting. Of course, I don't mean to generalize too much. There will be some challenges. We need to now be aware. I think the major challenge here, which is great because honestly, there isn't too much else to be focused on, which is awesome. We're moving out of the Sun and Mars conjunction, which has great gifts. There's great gifts all around with every transit. But with that and with everything else that we've been going through this last month, everything's easing up a lot. So we're having a lot of space to move. But our challenge is to stay focused. Not only because Sun is in Sag, but because also Neptune is in Pisces. So in particular, probably about mid-December, somewhere around there, yeah, that square is going to get tighter. until it's a direct square. And the big focus is essentially to not lose focus. Neptune and Pisces, our subconscious will be influencing us, and honestly we'll be seeing, I think this is the key. If over this last month you were really focused on understanding your subconscious and working through challenges, etc., then you're setting yourself up for a really lovely time throughout Sagittarius season. Of course, you know, the work we do now helps us build, and it helps as a foundation for the work we do next. And if we don't build it, then it gets even harder in certain ways. And it's never too late to start and get stuff together. It's all good. And I think right now, since we're still on the cusp of Scorpio, now is a really good time of like, oh, I didn't quite make my way through those fears yet, you know, or I don't quite know what it is that I'm shooting for, or like what I'm seeking to expand upon, how I'm seeking to grow as an individual, and like what I'm seeking to give to the collective in a greater way, the collective of humanity, because of that Jupiter in Aquarius. And again, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. So these Aquarius energies that for the last month have been quite difficult are now, we're in tune with them in a lot of ways. And but again, whether we're able to steer the ship, it's like, okay, we've got a lot of rocket fuel, right? Sagittarius season. We have Jupiter in Aquarius. But do we know our direction? And I think that's really the key, is if we don't know our direction, then that square, especially about 3 weeks from now, can be quite difficult. And we can go off course and run out of gas, and then we're like... But if we use this last month to break on through, then beautiful. Then this is going to be a month where we're getting stuff done, we're making stuff happening, and we're just going to be coasting really beautifully into a Sun in Capricorn season about a month from now. I think that's mainly the stuff. One thing I think is with Moon in Cancer, take a lot of time at home, take your time, spend time with family, connect with female relatives in particular. Moon is opposite Venus, so there's some kind of good connection that can happen there. Maybe there's some isolation that's happening. You know, I'm going to call my sister that I haven't talked to in a while right after this reading. And so I think that's a really good thing, especially if you can like sit down and have a meal with them. Beautiful. Today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and the first part of Wednesday can be really beautiful for that, as well as just connecting with the females in your life in particular. But yeah, I think family, especially blood family, can really benefit from reaching out at this time. Yeah, that's everything. Infinite love to you, my friends. Happy Sagittarius season. May you have a lovely, wonderful, abundant season, but also focused with the energy. When Sagittarius focuses, it's such a beautiful thing. Just like Gemini, my energy, you know? It's hard. It's the hardest out of all of the zodiacal wheel, but if we just steer it right and don't lose control, and I know there's something shiny over there and I want it, but no, this is what I need. All works out beautiful. Miracles happen. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. Peace.